Hey, boys and girls. Today we're going to be reading Chapter 4 of Jake Drake Know-It-All, Hunters. That title makes me think, hunters. That's an interesting title for this chapter. They're starting the science fair, and I'm wondering, who's hunting? I normally think of animals that hunt. Or maybe I go out in the woods with my dad and hunt. I don't think about hunting with a science fair project. So the author has really piqued my curiosity here. By lunchtime, I had read everything about the science fair twice. I was ready to work. So I waited until just before lunch. I waited until Miss Snavin was alone at her desk. Then I went up and asked for a library pass for after lunch, and I kind of whispered. And when she gave me the pass, I hid it in my hand. But Marcia saw it anyway, because Marcia was watching me like a cat watches a hamster. Marcia was watching me like a cat watches a hamster. What type of figurative language is that? It's comparing two things and it uses like or as. Good, a simile. And right away she jumped up and rushed over to the teacher's desk. She said, "Miss Snavin, a library pass? Could I have one too?" Except Marcia didn't whisper. So 3 seconds later, Kevin also had a library pass. Because that's the way it is, and you have to get used to it. Know-it-alls are usually copycats, too. Copycats. I wonder what type of figurative language that is. Are they really cats? No, they're not really cats. So it's when you say something, but it has a different meaning. Like they have a green thumb, or cat got your tongue. It's an idiom. So copycat is an idiom. After lunch, the library was like a know-it-all convention. All the smart kids were there, plus all the kids who thought they were smart, plus all the kids who wanted everyone else to think they were smart, plus me. We were all there. Everyone wanted a head start. Everyone wanted to win. The only good thing was not all the kids there were in third grade. Besides me and Marcia and Kevin, there were only 3 other third graders. And Pete Morris wasn't one of them. I looked out the window and I saw Pete. He was out by the bushes near the fence. He was bending over. He was looking at one of the branches. But my best friend Willie was in the library. His real name is Phil, but his last name is Willis, so everyone calls him Willie, even his teachers. Willie's third grade teacher was Mrs. Fruel. When Willie saw me, he smiled and came over to my table. "Hey," he said, "isn't it great? I mean, about the computer? I would love to have that thing in my room. Got any good ideas yet? I think I might try to build a bridge or something like that, you know. Something big. How about you? What do you want to do?" But all I said was, "Listen, Willie, I've got to get to work now, okay?" "Sure," said Willie, "but I thought maybe we could be partners. We could make something totally, like totally total." Willie was great at starting sentences. Finishing them was the hard part. I shook my head. "Won't work, Willie. What if what we make wins first prize? Then what?" Willie looked at me like I was nuts. "Then we'll have this cool computer, that's what. We can keep it at your house some of the time and at my house some of the time. It'll be great." I shook my head again. "I don't think so, Willie. I think we better just do our own stuff." Willie shrugged. "Okay, but if I win, I'll still let you use my computer sometimes, okay?" I smiled and said, "Sure, that'll be great." But inside to myself, I said, "You win the science fair? Forget about it, Willie. That grand prize is mine." Uh-oh, I can already tell that something's going to happen with these two friends. Jake is already starting to get confident and kind of be mean to his friend, and his friend is just being nice and wanted to team up with him. Which was not very nice, but when you have to get the right answer and you have to get it first and you have to win, then you don't have as much time to be nice anymore. When Willie walked away, I looked at the papers about the science fair again. There was a part that said you couldn't make a project that used fire or acid. For electricity, you could only use batteries, and you couldn't use chemicals that might explode or make smoke. Those rules knocked a lot of fun stuff off the list. In the booklet, it said there would be 5 judges, so I tried to think like a science fair judge, but I got tired of that. It was hard enough to think like a 3rd grader. I grabbed my papers and went over to a computer that was hooked up to the internet. I sat down and clicked on search, and then typed in science fair projects. In 2 seconds, I got my message. It said 206,996 web pages matched with my search, and the first 10 links were on the screen. So I clicked on a link that said Science Fair Helper. Sounded like the right stuff, and it was. It had some good things, so I clicked on a second link. And that second link had some good ideas too, and so did the third link and the fourth and the fifth. Then it hit me. There was probably a good idea on every page, all 206,996 of them. But I didn't need 200,000 ideas. I just needed one. I needed my idea. I felt something behind me. I turned around real quick, and guess what? It was Kevin Young. He had come up right behind me, and he was staring at the screen. My screen. "Hey," I said. "What are you doing, Kevin?" Kevin shrugged. "Nothing." I said, "Then go do nothing somewhere else." Kevin had red hair and his face was freckled, and his eyes were this real pale blue, and he didn't blink much. Kevin stuck out his chin and said, "I can be anywhere I want to in the library. And you know it's against the rules to copy a project from the internet." And from around the end of some shelves, suddenly Marcia was standing there next to Kevin. She nodded her head so her ponytail bobbed up and down. "That's right, what Kevin said about copying, how it's like cheating." It was hard not to get mad, real mad. But all I said was, "What, do you think I'm stupid? I know not to cheat. Just mind your own business, both of you. You know what things look like right now. It looks like you two are copying ideas from me. That's what it looks like." They left, and I was still pretty mad. But when I thought about it later, I felt better. About Kevin and Marcia watching out for me, I mean. I was something they weren't so sure about. It made me feel good because if they were worried about me, that meant I was worth worrying about. Jake Drake was something those know-it-alls didn't know about, and they both knew it. So he's thinking the know-it-alls are worried about him having a better project than them. So they came over to kind of see what he was doing. But in the beginning of the book, he's helping his friends. He seems really nice. He hangs out with everybody. He's really friendly. But now he's being short and angry. This contest seems to kind of have changed his personality. Tomorrow we'll read chapter 5. But today, for chapter 4, you need to go to your Jake Drake work slides and go to day 6 assignment. It tells you on slide 10 what you need to do. You will come up with 4 traits to describe Willie, and make sure you use evidence to support your character traits. So this is slide 11, and in your novel toolbox, there are character traits. There are positive character traits, so good character traits, and negative character traits. So you're going to go to your work slides, and you can use some of these positive character traits or negative traits. I do not want you to use the character trait nice. Let's go deeper than that. So why do you think the title of chapter 4 is Hunters? Do you think Willie is a hunter? Why or why not? And then you need 4 character traits and your text evidence. Remember, your text evidence is exactly from the pages. So I'm going to go when it talks about Willie, which is page 24, 25, and get my text evidence. I can copy this in it straight from the text. So I type my trait here, and this is my text evidence. Or you can use your book to type your evidence. When you're finished with that, you're done with your reading lesson for today. I hope you'll have a great day.